welcome back here, everyone. Remember that live action Zatanna movie that they were working on? Yeah, me neither. But apparently, it's no longer going forward. I have a few thoughts on this, but let's get into this article here from CBR so to get a bit of an update on what's happening with it. HBO Max live action Zatanna movie scrapped, looking for new streaming home. The live-action Zatanna movie pushed by J.J. Abrams, well, that should tell you right, has been scrapped by streaming giant HBO Max, leaving the project in need of a new home. HBO Max has scrapped its plans to release a live-action Zatanna movie. The long-rumored project, which was being pushed by J.J. Abrams, has been nixed by HBO Max, with the streaming giant reportedly not interested in creating a home for the live-action film about the magic-wielding Justice League superhero. The Star Wars prequel film director and Hollywood producer reportedly had a few setbacks when it comes to the supernatural DC project, with a number including Zatanna being scrapped by the streaming service, according to the Hollywood Reporter. Now, apparently, there was also talks about doing a Constantine movie, but from what I understand, at the moment, Keanu Reeves is, I think he's set to do a follow-up to his Constantine movie, so I think they decided not to go ahead with that one also. So we will see what kind of turns out of that. Can't really say in regards to that. Zatanna, which has been generating exciting rumblings since 2020. I don't really think so. Nobody was talking about it. I mean, I had heard about it initially, but after a while, nobody really talked about it at all. As offered, little firm news released about its production. Well, there you go. With that said, there may be hope for fans of the Mistress of Magic, as it's also been reported that the film is now being shopped around Hollywood to other streaming services. Well, that sounds promising, doesn't it? At this time, it seems that there will be little movement on Zatanna until a new home is found, since it has yet to generate any significant steam. A DCEU adaptation of Zatanna was confirmed in March 2021 with Emerald Fennell attached as the film's writer. No idea who she is. This is what she had to say though. It's something that we've been working on for a while. I've been speaking to Bad Robot Productions, who are amazing. You want to get the first bit right, which is the script, before you think of anything else. I'm such a genre fan. I'm a fan of witchcraft, magic, and comic books, and this is scary and intense. When they're trying to lay it on a little so thick, I just think maybe they're not really fans of these things at all. Speaking previously about the project, Fennell said that penning a movie around the Justice League dark stalwart was exciting, as there was so much dark and interesting content she could pursue with Zatanna's character. The actor and writer said she was hoping the film would provide an opportunity to make something really quite dark, and that writing a script around something big and scary would be a lot of fun. Alongside this, she said that her main concern around the film's creation was making sure that it was in good shape for fans. The main thing for me is making sure that it's really, really good. I'm such a genre fan and all of this. Okay. Making her comic book debut in 1964 in Hawkman #4, Zatanna burst onto the DC scene under the supervision of writer Gardner Fox and artist Murphy Anderson. She is the daughter of Zatara, the magician, a Golden Age DC hero. Going by many monikers, Zatanna is known as the Mistress of Magic and Princess of Prestidigitation, among other names, a veteran member of both the Justice League and Justice League Dark. Zatanna is known for casting her powerful spell, incantations, backwards. Okay, now let me just say a few things in regards to this whole Zatanna thing, and why this was probably not going to work. You see, DC and by extension Warner and Discovery, HBO Max, all of them things, but when all of the merger happened, these things happened. But before that, DC, or should I say Warner had this ridiculous notion in their minds that they needed to push characters that nobody was interested in purely for their version of diversification and inclusion and all these other things. Zatanna is of Latina origin. That's what she's of Latina origin. Same thing like what they were trying to do with the Batgirl movie. The problem they're not getting is, well, okay, let's go back a little bit. DC came out the gate wrong. That's what they did. Because they wanted to create something like what Marvel was doing with their MCU, and what they didn't understand was that you don't have to be exactly like them. You can build your own universe slowly but surely and make it good, and you wouldn't have this problem. Marvel came out and their phase 1 and 2 were really good. Had some problems here and there. We won't even discuss phase 4 now because that's a total waste of time. But they had some things there going and it was really good. Now they have written themselves into a corner. And if DC does not want to do the same thing, DC has to think about what they're doing and think about it really hard. What you should have done, what DC should have done, was start off making their movies, make a Superman movie, maybe one or two. Well, Man of Steel, while I liked certain parts of it, I've always said, too dark, too gritty, needed to be better. They could have done 2 movies with Superman, 2 movies with Batman, 2 movies with Wonder Woman that were actually good, because I wasn't a fan of the first Wonder Woman movie. I'm not a fan of this. I am not a fan of the second one. I don't think anybody's a fan of that movie. Then, once you started that, once you did those movies, you could have slowly brought in other characters to create a Justice League. They were too quick trying to make their Justice League without doing it. You could have made a separate Aquaman movie, made a cyborg movie, because people wanted to see that cyborg movie. You understand me? Do something. They have Black Adam movie out right now and all of this stuff. You could have done something with all of these things. You could have done beforehand, and then you build a Justice League movie. You build up to some big threat that you could have had a part 1 and part 2 Justice League movie. Okay. After that, now you could start to bring in other characters that people may be interested in, but you have to flush these characters out properly. Nobody wanted to go and see a Batwoman movie, a Batgirl movie, before they will go and see a Batman and a Nightwing movie. Nobody. I said that's just a given. You bring in Batgirl into it while the movie is going along, and you build up the character. The same thing with Zatanna. You could have brought Zatanna in and have her built upon it, like one of them, or maybe in one of the Justice League movies, they had to go and see Zatanna for something. Then you could have introduced the character and make her have 1 or 2 appearances in some other movies. Maybe pop in a Superman movie, in a Wonder Woman movie, in a Batman movie, something. So people actually start to like the character. You build on the character, then you bring out the character, and maybe then once popularity is right, and you know what works, and you're not just going to tell yourself, okay, let's go and do a dark, scary Constantine movie type thing, but swapping Zatanna into it. It doesn't work that way. You have to understand the character, what the character deals with, because Zatanna is a very powerful magician, a very powerful sorceress. And if it is she's done correctly, could work. But this is why I keep saying you have to take cues from the comics and build on it. Now, I'm not surprised that this movie has been scrapped, because again, DC/Warner doesn't know what the hell they're doing. And if they just take from the comic books and build these characters properly, they could outclass and very well outshine a lot of people, but they're not doing that. They're not interested in telling good stories. What they're interested in is checking boxes and running around about representation. Because you wanted a Latina Batgirl, that was the reason people were pushing for the movie, even though many reports of saying that the movie was terrible. Same thing with Zatanna. You're not building up the character, you just want another Latina character there. And then what else? Well, let's not forget Supergirl. They wanted to kill off Superman and bring in a Latina Supergirl, sorry. Because all they're interested in is checking boxes. Not telling good stories, just checking boxes. So yet another project scrapped because why? DC keeps showing, DC/Warner keep showing that they don't care about their fans and what your actual fans will like and want. So you have nobody to blame for this but yourselves. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.